Hello, everybody. I'm Jay Lynn, and with the recent release of Vibrant Visuals, I thought it'd be fun to hop in a creative copy of my Forever World here and just fly around a bit and spit off some of my thoughts on my initial impressions of the visual update here. Now, I'll be up front and let you know overall, I'm really liking it. I really like the direction they're going here. There's so much to like about it. It really feels like a very fresh update, very much like the Caves and Cliffs update, in that kind of feels like you're playing for the first time again. Feels like a new game in some ways. So I think that's really cool, and just overall, I'm very happy with it now. That being said, there's a good amount of little jank going on and a few things I really don't like that I really do have a lot of faith that I think Mojang will fix the majority of, but there's definitely some trade-off. It's not a perfectly clean release, I wouldn't say, but overall, I think we're really liking the vibe. But yeah, I just thought it'd be kind of fun to go through and see some of my builds and just really freshens things up. And I got some pros and some cons, and the cons will probably stand out more. But like I said, overall, the pros of the update I just think are really cool. And one of the biggest pros is the reflections. They add so much life to the world here. The bridge down here is a perfect example. I just think that looks so cool. And the buildings, once you start getting some buildings reflected and it's not just trees, it looks really cool, especially at nighttime, which we'll see here in a second. And yeah, I should mention I'm playing on PlayStation 5 here, and I feel like it's running pretty good. I did adjust my settings a certain amount here. I adjusted the brightness a little bit. I feel like it starts off really bright by default, and so I just kind of went until I found a sweet spot here. I didn't follow the directions up top, because if you do that, it makes it way too dark, but I just kind of found to a point that I liked it, as well as I did just turn things down a notch. I didn't go too far on anything, but just a little bit, try to up my performance a little bit. And I'd heard someone mention that bloom is a good thing to turn down, and it helps with things being washed out and just so much contrast in some areas. So I pulled that down a little bit, and I do feel like I can see a difference. But yeah, no need to have everything on full high. I feel like where I'm at, things are still just looking really good. Yeah, like I said, just the times a day and just creating such different vibes, super cool. Now, the little light coming in and out, you can see how it's kind of glitching in and out. That's one thing I don't really like, but I feel like you see that a lot more in creative when you're flying around like this. You don't notice that as much when you're actually just playing in survival mode, so that's not that big a deal. But yeah, overall, I really like the new skies and the different biomes. Like you can see, I think I'm in a jungle biome here and just got the nice hazy sky. Just looks really cool. Let's see, we get a good transition when we actually go in the biome. Yeah, now I got the jungle biome here. That's really cool to have different reasons to go to the different biomes, and it makes more biomes viable to build in. I've never really been tempted to build in a savanna or a desert, really, for that matter, but I think now with their new warm feeling, I think it makes me want to build there sometime. I think the jungle here just looks really cool. Now, things like this is actually the worst I've ever seen it. Some of the real fast-moving shadows in some cases. I do think that's something they will figure out eventually, but it's something they need to figure out, because I think that's one of the more annoying glitches. But that is the kind of thing that I do have faith they'll figure out in the end. Some of the cloud shadows move really fast. Yeah, this is ridiculous right here. That's definite glitch going on. I hadn't noticed anything that fast, but yeah, they gotta fix some of the movement of the shadows, I feel like. But overall, the shadows are just really cool. They really, like I said, make different times a day, can make a single area just feel so different. I just really like it. And I think nighttime is just looking really cool nowadays, especially at the twilight times of day, like right after sunset and right before sunrise, like we're at right now. Just looks really cool. I actually think my underwater base looks cool at nighttime. I'll be complaining about that here in a second. That's one of my main complaints, but I do think my glowing corals look really cool down there. There is something cool about the clear water, but yeah, Just think the street lights look really cool at nighttime. Just a whole new vibe that really an A plus. The moon reflection here, super cool. Really happy with the improvements at nighttime, and nighttime's always been probably my favorite time in Minecraft. But we'll go ahead and skip to the sunrise just so we're not going around in the dark. But yeah, like I mentioned, one of my main complaints is a few of the changes they've done with the water. I do think it looks cool from above here, and I can handle this, even though it's not quite as vibrant actually as before. It doesn't stand out quite as much, but it does look cool from above. But you can see, like, I can look in the window from above, but once you go underwater, they got it all grayed out here and fogged out. That's kind of a cool little sun ray there, but yeah, they changed these windows to, now they're just fogged out and you can't even see in there when you're close. I definitely don't like that change. And just overall, just the visibility down here, they really shortened it, and yeah, if it weren't for my glowing corals, it would be just really dark and a lot more boring than it was underwater. I like how the water looks from above, but underwater, they need to go back in some ways, I think, a little bit. One of my least favorite things is the view from inside. I really like the vibe of the interior itself. I think it looks really cool. But this used to be such a cool view. Now it's just really dark. You can't even really see out there. You can't see my buildings above the water that you used to be able to see. So it's a lot more boring looking out the windows, and it definitely lowered the coolness of my underwater base here just a little bit. So hopefully they can adjust a couple things there. That's one thing I'm a little more worried about, that they might just be content with how it looks, because it is more realistic technically probably, but I like the old way better for that. There is definitely a few things you got to trade off, but overall, well worth it to play with vibrant visuals, I believe. And there's a lot of changes with the water that I actually like. I think just going around the world when you're not trying to build in the water, I think overall it is just looking really cool. And for the most part, I like how clear it is and it looks really good. Sometimes I wish it was not quite so clear, but the reflections overall and just the realness of it, really cool traveling around your world. But one thing I really don't like is that they took the different water types away. You used to have the nice bright blue water in the desert and the savannah, and yeah, so now it's just the same in all the different biomes. Even in a swamp, it's still just that clear water. So hopefully that's something they go back and adjust a little bit, which I do have faith in that one. I think they'll probably bring the water types back, but we'll see. But overall, it just looks really cool in the environment. And speaking of environments, I just don't think you can say it enough just how much of a difference it makes having the different biomes have the different skies and the different fogs. Just having the different vibes all around the world is a humongous change and will make you want to explore the world and experiment in different biomes building-wise, like I said earlier. Speaking of which, we'll head out to my treehouse area, which is in a cold biome. And this is actually my first time checking out this area since the official update, but I know when I was checking it out before, I really liked the new vibe of the Mega Taiga here, the cold biome vibe. And yeah, I just think that's so cool. It does feel chillier. Feels kind of like a little winter town, even without the snow. So I really like that, and yeah, just overall, the place is looking awesome. Now, the waterfalls, they've been tweaking and getting a lot better over time, and actually, I'll be honest, this looks, I think, a lot better than it did last time I was looking at it. There used to be a lot more like weird little lighting update, like really bright white blocks, but actually looking at it, feels like they might have fixed things a certain amount. I would actually say these waterfalls are looking pretty cool. That was going to be one of the things I complained about, but I'm glad to see that's an example of them already fixing some of the things that we're not liking. I do think that's looking really cool. They used to just have, like, you can kind of see it there where that side is white, but it's not as obvious as it was, and there was just a lot more of that kind of stuff going on. And yeah, I think the rain looks really cool. Now, I know that there's a glitch and that the sky isn't graying out like it should, but I don't really mind it. I actually almost prefer it because I feel like when I played in the test before when it was raining, they were making it almost way too dark. But we'll see what happens when they actually adjust it. I know they're going to be fixing that here pretty soon. We'll enjoy the nice, sunny, rainy days while we can. Now, one place that I really do hope they put a little focus on is fixing how the lighting in the caves work. I do like how the skulk looks. I think it's going to be fun to use a... Holy moly. That, I guess, is my... Yeah, that's my glass sky. So that looks kind of crazy from here. This is my first time seeing this. And yeah, that's a bit of a shock. I haven't seen it from this angle, but it looks like it might look cool. It looks really bright. But yeah, I do think the skulk looks cool. I think that'll be cool to use as stars sometime in a build. I've been meaning to do that somewhere in one of my diorama type things I've built. But yeah, this sky is looking kind of crazy. And yeah, this little fog coming in right here is an example of like just little things like that popping up super randomly is weird, just depending on the angle you're looking. Yeah, it seems to have messed with my sky quite a bit. Now, it looks kind of cool. I mean, I'll adjust over time, I guess. It does look, yeah, fly closer to it. Oh, man. So, this is kind of crazy. This is you're getting a live reaction here. This is my first time seeing this. And I'm well aware this cave is really putting the new lighting mechanics to the test because I do have all just my little poke holes into the ceiling. All those little spots of light are where I got light coming in from the top to change the sky color when it turns day to night, have it be bright in the day and dark at night. So you can see just all these little holes up to the ceiling. So I realize that's really messing with the lighting mechanics, but hey, they need some true tests. So yeah, you can see like right there, you just saw that weird little light come in. I can't make it happen again, but you'll see as I move around, there's just little lights that come in and out. This actually seems to be doing better right now than when I tested before, but even that little bit right there you can see is just kind of weird. And yeah, seeing there, it just goes away super instantly. So I would like them to fix some things with that. I do feel like it's better than it was. So maybe they're working on it. But yeah, they need to just figure out the light spreading in weird spots. Like right here, for example. There shouldn't be a light source creating that big bright light there. But overall, besides that problem, the cave's looking awesome. I really like my little crystals I got going. And yeah, the sky is going to take some getting used to. This is at nighttime too. We'll see what it looks like in the day, but we'll see how they adjust. Overall, I'm still really liking my cave. Hopefully they fix some of those issues. Another area I wanted to check out was my dwarven cave over here, because when I was looking at it in the test version, I really didn't like how bright they made the lava and just how clashy. Yeah, it's still pretty bright. It does look better. I think that might be because I turned the bloom down, so maybe that is working. It used to just really clash with the copper here. And the copper looks a little different as well, I feel like. Definitely a lot more vibrant, but oh man. I'm really liking the cave. I think that looks awesome here. Yeah, I feel like the copper looks quite a bit different. It almost feels like it lost its shine, maybe? I don't know. That's kind of interesting there. There's a little shine. But yeah, I think this looks awesome. I really like the purple on the top there. That's a lot more vibrant than it was pre-vibrant visuals. Super cool. And yeah, like I said, overall, there's obviously lots of things I might not think are the best, but I got faith they're going to end up finding the majority of them and getting them fixed. But overall, I'm super happy with the vibrant visuals and real excited to start playing Minecraft in a new way. So yeah, if you like what you saw here, want to follow along the Let's Play world, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like button. It's always greatly appreciated. And yeah, if we're really enjoying the Let's Play world, come check it out. And as always, thanks for coming and have a good day.